In Manatee County, Florida, there is a railroad museum located in the town of Parrish, known as the Florida Railroad Museum. It's not as substantial as the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania, nor does it host steam-operated excursions like U.S. Sugar. But it has a charm specific to itself, as a rustic, single-track freight line serving passengers for many years. But if you were to go about 5 miles to the southwest, you'll find a railroad that has bags of charm, albeit with equipment about 1/8 the size.
Welcome to the Manatee Central Railroad. This is a road that was built as a passion project between 3 individuals that traces its roots back well over 50 years. Today, we're here in attendance for the Florida Live Steamers Winter Meet Season 2026, where we celebrate all things 7.5-inch gauge related, as well as some smaller scale stuff along the way. Oh, you're on! Come on, old girl! Come on!
Manatee Central Railroad is not a public railroad by any means, as it is located within 2 private residences. The line is essentially a backyard railroad, held by 3 friends who shared the same passion for railways. The man who dreamt the idea being Larry Smith. As a young boy, Larry had been a railway enthusiast all his life. His love for steam coming from the many stories told to him by his father, a former locomotive fireman who worked on the Boston and Maine Railroad. Growing up on the east coast of Florida, he watched steam-hauled reefer trains coming out of Homestead near the remains of the Florida Keys extension. Larry would venture to the yards in Miami and watch the many switching operations still operated by steam locomotives at that time, and witnessed the end of steam on the FEC by 1953. Many years later, he and his wife Joanne would move west to Parrish, and this was the start of their 50-year adventure in the hobby of live steam. Larry started building the railroad in 1976, just after he and his wife moved into the property. With the help of the founder of the Florida Live Steamers Group, Enos Yoder, and a group of other members, some of them later becoming the founding members of Largo Central Railroad. In fact, Yoder donated several panels of track for the first construction of the line. Between 1989 and 1990, however, the railroad went through a major expansion, when 2 nearby properties came up for sale. Larry gave the suggestion of acquiring the western property to his friend Pete Newcomb, who, with the help of Orland Gingerlich, bought the property and converted the old cabinet workshop into a locomotive works, while Bev Kaiser bought the northern area and built her own railroad there, and the three decided to merge their railroads together into one whole network, with the golden spike between Larry and Pete's areas occurring in 1990. It was initially a 4 3/4 inch scale railroad, but eventually the railroad became a 7.5 inch gauge line, with the 4 3/4 gauge combined into a dual gauge system on the northeast part of the line. In that period, George Johnson came in and helped build the steaming base over on Larry's side of the property so that guest engines could be fired up and worked on during meets. Another friend, Bill Barons, later constructed some storage infrastructure for storing home-based engines and rolling stock on the property. However, as the years went by, the railway would ever more change. The property owned by Bev Kaiser would eventually be sold off, and the rails ripped up, with only the northwest entry's track bed still intact. The 4 3/4 inch gauge track also did not last long, as it was dismantled, with locomotives and rolling stock gradually being sold off, though some sections still exist to this day, such as this diamond going over the 7.5 inch gauge.
You can see right there, there's the 4 3/4 inch.
It is, that's a 4 1/4, and that's a diamond.
Some track bed, and some dual gauge sections, mainly on the northern part of the property at the entrance.
Not again, Tino.
Every February, the Manatee Central is the host to the Florida Live Steamers Winter Meet. Very fitting considering this was one of the first railroads to be constructed within the group. When I arrived on Friday morning, the railroad was already seeing some action. My friends from Bridge Live Steamers, Jacob and his father Jeff, had come with their engines, and I helped them unload them from their trailer. But there was one returnee that I hadn't seen in over a year, and this year I get to dive a little more deep into, thanks to its owner. The New York Central Mohawk was back. Much like the Challenger that appeared at Train Mountain last year, this Mohawk was detailed down to the bolts and nuts. The scale bolts and nuts. Some people have referred to it as a scale model because of how well detailed it is from top to bottom. The details themselves are impressive, with an accurate feed water pump that actually works, horizontal safety valves meant to accommodate the New York Central's tight clearances, a modeled power reverser, though this had a screw reverser instead of a lever, a low water alarm system, steam water pumps, but did you notice that atomizer? Yes, this engine is in fact an oil burner, rather than using coal or propane, though it was briefly converted to the latter for use at Train Mountain. The oil tank itself is fitted above the main water cistern, with a fake coal load behind the seat to conceal
We
it.
got a stainless steel oil tank on top of a stainless steel water tank.
Okay, so there's more to the water tank. So
Yeah.
The Mohawk seen here has a working pressure of 130 psi, just 5 pounds shy of Largo's Hiawatha Hudson, and the same as Bruce Rankowitz's Atlantic. In its day, this New York Central Mohawk could haul up to 27 cars in one sitting. But enough talk. Let's see a little bit of it in action, shall we?
right, Mark?
Hey, he's concentrated.
Sometime in the middle of Friday, a guest asked me if I would like to have a drive on a locomotive. Quoting Heist here, never ask, never say no. This was another electric steam outline, except it was a Reading Camelback, an 060 to be exact.
This is your dead man. You have to hold this in at all times. Hear the click?
Yep.
I hold it with my left hand like this, but you can do it whichever way works.
Yeah,
for
the
you.
left hand works better.
This is for the brake.
All right.
The brake
Very
is
similar
on.
to-
Now it's off.
Very similar.
Now the brake's on. Brake's off.
Same thing that Wes has on his engines, actually.
Now,
Oh, similar.
if you panic and you say I got to stop immediately, just release the dead man. It will,
Oh,
it will
okay.
come to a very quick stop. It won't throw you off the train, but you
Don't
will
do it
come to
too
a
much,
stop in
though.
like
Yeah.
10 feet.
Don't do it too much.
Yeah, it's probably not good for the motor to have that.
The locomotive's advisor gave me instructions on the controls, and soon we were on our way.
Slow stops. Especially, that's something I've done. That's something I've really taken with in terms of
I could do it with
driving public.
So that 10 meter was like,
Okay. Smells like a coal mine. No, an actual coal mine.
After going by Pete Newcomb's workshop, the advisor had stopped me in the cutting to drop off some ballast rock.
As it turns out, he was using the engine as an MOW vehicle that day. Once the ballast had been unloaded, he gave me the option to keep going, and, well, so I did.
This thing's actually really neat. It's electric, but there's definitely quite a few things to go on it that definitely give it the inch of detail it deserves. Good example, that coal in there is actually real anthracite. Camelbacks were built to actually fire on anthracite coal because of the fact that they had wide Wootton style fireboxes. If you're familiar with the Reading T1s, like number 2102, it's the same kind of firebox that these engines were built with. The driving this is actually very unique to say the least. For one, the controller is this big honking thing that's actually has a decent amount of heft to it. Coming back over to the gradient. Time to climb it. I gotta help Orland with his engine. Orland's here, so I'm gonna park this over in the ballast collection.
Park it by the stone pile. Great. Yep. Thank you.
All right.
I'll probably go get another load.
Shit. Hey, can I have a ride? Oh, okay, go ahead.
Once I'm done with that, sure.
No, it's all right. I can walk. It's no problem. I'm just dropping this thing off.
But fret not, this was not the only train that I had to go on that weekend. Because that Saturday, it was a big day for me. For context, last year, after helping with cleaning his and Jacob's engines, Jeff gave me the offer to drive one of his in the future. Almost a year later, I decided I'll take you up on that offer. The locomotive in question was this. This is an Allen Models 10-wheeler. These locomotives are one of many from their works that can be assembled as kits. They were based on the Wabash 460 number 713 and was designed to work with the earlier 260 Mogul boilers with modifications to the boiler barrel. We've seen many examples of Allen Models products in the past, including some Moguls, a Schroeder 3-chuck Shay, which happened to be at Manatee that week,
That's a Gresley teapot if I've ever heard one.
and a 280 consolidation. In terms of features, the early 19th century aspects of the locomotive are plain to see. Parallel boiler, Stephenson valve gear, slide valves, old-style cab, single steam injector, toolbox in the tender, 2 old-style domes. But it does have modifications to keep it up with modern times, such as the mechanical lubricator within the cab, and an axle pump for injecting water into the boiler, connected to the lead driving wheels. Now, spoiler alert, this is not the first time I've ever ran a coal-fired steam engine before. Back in April of 2025, I came here during a spring meet and had to go on Rob 5E's 242 Monique. This engine was the perfect gateway into coal-fired steam. That being said though, before Saturday, I had to go on the Allen on Friday. But it didn't go very well. This is kind of my fault here, guys. You see, one of the key things about running a steam locomotive is balancing your fire and your water in perfect harmony. Especially the latter. In my case, though, I kept the axle pump on full that whole time, which meant as the water was filled in, the boiler pressure went lower and lower.
Oh, don't dip below 40, you little...
This is, of course, because as water is injected into the boiler, it's cold, and the cold water lowers the temperature in the boiler overall, reducing the pressure.
Deja vu for me again. Deja vu for me again. Right at 40. Was you trying to use it to get up the hill?
Needless to say, I learned that the hard way.
Turntable myself, I'm always terrified. I like to drag them up there. But that's just me. Other guys are run theirs on here.
Come that Saturday, I was determined to redeem myself on that engine. But first, I needed to clean the locomotive out. It is the day after the Friday. This locomotive is fully cooled down. There's no pressure in the boiler, but I still have to clean out the boiler tubes on the inside. So, where are my gloves at? Unlike Jacob's Prairie, the Allen's boiler tubes are small. I'd say they're probably about a half an inch at best. So putting a brush in and out especially with black ash clogging inside the tubes, is an exercise routine of sorts.
I'll be able to. Shine it in. Shine it in. Oh, no more. Yeah, look at how clogged those tubes are. Pretty small. Right, now that I've got the back end cleaned out, I need to get the ash that's in there. Let's get the smoke box door off. I keep forgetting that the coal fire rules too.
12, and he was running. Earl and Connor were running not too far off.
Oh, is this made of aluminum as well?
Yes.
Is this smoke box made of aluminum as well? Okay, this is deja vu for me because this is lighter. This is lighter than 99s.
You remember how heavy the Mammoth was?
Yeah, you really had to grunt for that one.
You're like,
and just like that, it's done.
After a fill up of water in the 10-wheeler, as the boiler still had some water left over from the previous day, the 10-wheeler was ready to have a fire put in her again. Before I took the throttle, Jeff gave the 10-wheeler a test lap to make sure everything was perfect for me when I took over.
Okay. Here we go. Ah, can't go. Oh, not gonna be able to go. I'll be able to just advance forward slowly.
This time, I found the balance. I had the engine at the right pressure, making sure that it had the right amount of water in the boiler, and she really started to show her groove. Of course, one other thing that is required, other than keeping the balance good, is focusing on what's ahead of you.
Down a little bit. I'm so sorry. I was trying to watch my fire.
Otherwise, driving this engine during this meet was the best time I had ever had. Despite the throttle being stiff, she was responsive. The double track straight at the northern part of the line was fun too. If you were driving an engine and you timed it right, you could run alongside another one. And this could sometimes lead to some fun drag races.
Oh, you're on! Come on, old girl! Come on!
Yeah, you could tell I couldn't resist joining in on that one.
Oh, come on, I had to.
After about 2 laps, I ran into the problem of fuel supply. Not in terms of water,
And she's filling up slowly. I'm gonna turn on the injectors.
but the fuel supply was a problem in terms of coal. My tender was almost empty, and I only had small bits left in it. I was really hoping that these bits of slack would be able to get me around another lap before I went to fetch more.
Find your father. Tell him I'm running out of big stuff. I'm almost at 80. I'm not gonna be able to do it this time. I'm about 80. I'm trying to conserve it.
How you doing?
I'm getting to about 80. I'm running out of big stuff.
Okay.
I need more big stuff.
Yeah.
I'm doing good on water. I made a stop over near Larry's.
There you go.
Oh, God damn it. God damn it, Jacob.
This is too much fun.
Admittedly it is. All right, so let's get up this grade and let me get up this grade and I'll be right over there, back over there to pick up some more.
However, after 2 laps, I had to clean out the ash pan so that I wouldn't choke my fire out.
With the water earlier.
And once that was done, I duly went to the nearby bypass route, which was located right next to the steaming bays, and collected more coal for the journey. Then came another snag of sorts. My fire was fine now, and my water was fine too, but I had the slight issue of having too much water in the boiler. This can result in water overflowing into the cylinders and shooting straight up the chimney, and also priming it if you're not careful. The solution to this is to blow down the engine in order to lessen how much water is in the boiler. Jacob did this the first time I had to blow it down. But the second time when I did it, I forgot to turn the blower down, which caused the pressure to go up. You see, steam is constantly expanding, so obviously, if you get an opening like that, that expansion increases.
Damn it.
That was the only time that day that both safety valves went off, as the boiler went up to maximum pressure. In order to get the pressure down, I had to use the steam injectors to fill the boiler, pretty much bringing the water level back up to what it was before. The next time I did this, I closed the blower before opening the valve. But as I was stopping to do this procedure, my buddy Scott Miller walked over.
Let me close my blower.
Oh, was that open the whole time? Damn it. Shit.
Yep. It turned out that when I went to bring the pressure down from the last blowdown, I had left the tender feed to the injector open, which meant half a lap later, the tender was now half full, the water having drained out in that time.
I'm going back to the steaming base with this thing. I'll be on my way in a little bit. All right, I'm just gonna put just one big lump. Well, clear it into the ash pan first. Clear some of the garbage into the ash pan first.
Okay, if you're going to the bay, you don't need a whole lot more fun.
Okay, well, I've only got it. You're right.
I look at the boiler pressure and it looks like, and yeah, you're right, I don't need very much.
You only gotta go about a quarter mile.
Okay, that's it. Okay, that's it. I'm on my way to the base. Jacob, I'm done for the day. I'm gonna back her into the Y. See ya.
Oh, did you get your fair share? Or?
More than enough. I think I've got it now.
Good.
Just as long as I just keep that water from going up all the way to the top. Because I was able to maintain pressure this time.
Good.
You know you've had a good day when you've been on something like this. Exactly. That's exactly how it feels. But that is just super neat, and I'm so happy that I gave myself, that I got the chance for that. Jeff, thank you.
Even after all of that, the activities at the railroad continued into the nights. Though some went ahead and packed up to leave, as on the following Sunday, rain was on the horizon. There were still engines that ran that day, such as Scott Miller with his Erie Atlantic. But one locomotive that arrived the previous day deserves note here. This narrow-gauge mogul, named Nicole, was built by the founder of the Florida Life Steamers, Enos W. Yoder. I mentioned his name before, as he was one of the people who helped build this railroad. But let's talk about him a little bit. Enos was one of the big names in the hobby, as he had built at least 16 locomotives in his lifetime, many of which were to the same outline as this one. But he had some other projects that he completed, including a 2.5-inch scale Kerr Stewart Wren, completed and sold in 2018. Of course, being the founder of the Florida Life Steamers Club, he was no stranger to sharing the hobby, encouraging and insisting many family members and their friends build their own locomotives, and sharing the exact plans for locomotives like this one. Sadly, Enos passed away in April of 2022, leaving behind a legacy that spanned over 70 years. Today, many of Enos' locomotives have gone to new owners, but this one, number 12 Nicole, is the sole remaining locomotive in this styling left in the family today. And it so happens to be the final one in said styling built by Enos in 1999. It was wonderful to see this engine being present at Manatee Central for this meet. One of a lasting legacy of the Florida Life Steamers history books.
Alright.
As that Sunday continued on, though, it was time for us to pack up. And by us, I mean the people that came from Largo Central Railroad to visit. And we were all thankful to have been given the opportunity to visit Larry's. But what were my thoughts about the winter meet this year at Manatee Central Railroad?
The Manatee Central Railroad is a place that any rail fan would ever dream about. Every rail fan dreams of having their own railroad that they basically have in their own backyard, and that's exactly what this place is. It's a wonderful circuit all around. However, It is possible that this place is currently living on borrowed time.
It's difficult to summarize it, really. The truth of it is, a lot of people who built this line have been long gone for several years, and as Larry and Co. grow older, the more difficult it becomes to maintain the line. But the one thing that stays prevalent is the camaraderie between others in the hobby, both old friends, new friends, as well as the younger generation coming in and learning new things, as well as even being allowed to have a go on the throttle. From my own experience, talking with Larry, riding the trains, talking with others on site, and even driving trains myself on that track, I only have positive memories of my times at Manatee Central. And I imagine others will share the same sentiment. The important part was that I had a hell of a lot of fun over there, riding and driving engines, interacting with people such as Larry, Pete, and the many guests there, including my two good friends, the father and son duo, Jeff and Jacob, as well as Scott Miller and Rob Fivey, talking all things trains, cleaning equipment for the next day's run, as well as having fun antics here and there, all in the name of sharing the hobby with each other. But if there's one thing I can safely say, is that as long as the home crew are still around, as long as the property they've kept going for 50 years is still here, and as long as there are people willingly coming out to enjoy the hobby and helping out said people keeping this place going, Manatee Central Railroad will always be there to host a live steam meet, whether it be spring, fall, or winter.